Broadcasting live from the Jersey Shore, it's Coach Kev on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Indie Super Show here on the Damage 365 Radio Network. We are here with episode number 40. I'm Coach Kev, leading you the way today. We have a very, very interesting show, to say the least. We have a promoter slash wrestling agent slash fraud that has to be called out on many of his wrongdoings. We'll be talking to a lot of people that he has screwed over. We need to put this guy out of business, or at least put the red flag up there so nobody does business with him anymore. We are joined live in studio with the man from MZ Promotions, Dave Mooch. Welcome to the show, Dave.
How you doing?
All right. Me and Dave have a good history. He's gotten us a lot of interviews in the past, including the Jim the Anvil Neidhart. He's hooked us up with Lanny Poffo and some cool photo ops at conventions. So, the vendors, taking care of the vendors the way it's supposed to be, not the way it always seems to go down at some of these conventions. We won't name no names, Lucky 13.
You had to get that in.
I had to get that in there. Thanks for that, Scott Hall, breeze by my table. Yeah, thanks. I know, I hold grudges. I'm like Vince McMahon, bro. I'm just going to hold grudges for like 2 decades. So it's going to affect your children and their children.
I'm sure Nels has a lot to say about that.
Yeah, and many others like Paul London, and who doesn't even refer to Triple H as Triple H. He refers to him as Paul Levesque. So that tells you right there.
Yes, it does.
So the fraudulent agent promoter we are discussing today is a gentleman, and I use that very lightly, named Matt Triosi. Some of you might know him. Some of you might know him from his had a Facebook page, and he has a website. What's the name of his company?
Limited Edition Collectibles.
LimitedEditionCollectibles.com, I do believe, is his website. And I was at it a couple days ago, and boom, right on the cover, there's 2 pictures of Larry Zbyszko signing autographs. Except it wasn't the Larry Zbyszko show that he had his hand in. It was the one that I was with you in Philly at the mall.
At George's Cards and Collectibles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the gentleman that I was talking to the whole time was standing in the corner of that photo, and he was wearing that awesome shirt that you can't mistake it for any other shirt. It was very colorful and I don't know, it looked like something he should be on a cruise in the Bahamas wearing.
Okay. Just to clear the air, Larry did do a show with Mac, but that was up in Albany.
Right.
I don't even know if that was the same weekend. I don't think so. It's possible. But I guess the photo was taken at a different signing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much, look, like, I'm not banging on the guy because of so much using the photo. I guess if he didn't do all this shady crap, nobody would care, but it just added and piled on to the stupid stuff that this guy has been doing. And we're gonna get into that, and we have a lot of people we're gonna speak to today, a lot of promoters, a lot of agents, a lot of friends of this gentleman, even an ex-girlfriend, and it's just
his business partner,
just people he's done business with, and people he's screwed in the past, and people who've known of him screwing people. Maybe these people not being able to call in, but other people like to call in on their behalf. And it's going to get very interesting. And we've known in the past how these exposure shows go here on Damage 365 Radio. They seem to spiral out of control for the people who are being brought up. And it's not my problem. It's my job.
Listen, they got themselves stuck. They got to get out.
They got to get out, and the one way you can get out is by packing your shit and getting out. But make sure you take care of, tip your waitresses and your servers, though, and pay back everybody your money.
Yeah, of course. That's the important part.
We're not talking. Damn! I didn't pay you for your $80 for your photos that you had printed for me. Now we're talking, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, $400 or $500 there. You start getting into the thousands when you're, a bunch of people. You kind of put a bullseye on your back, and if this was how he would have handled business back in the mid to late 80s, he'd probably have 2 broken legs.
He should, but
this is 2015.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So we can't handle it the way we used to handle things back in the mid to late 80s, early 90s. But but it's funny because people thought twice of doing things like that because they knew, somebody was going to find them. Now they hide behind keyboards, they hide behind Facebook, text messaging, they talk trash, they trash other people, they know there's no consequences to pay because they'll avoid you like the plague, and you can't reach through the keyboard and beat them up because they're hiding behind their Facebook names.
Right, and doesn't help in his situation that he lives in Buffalo area.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a 9-hour drive, so...
Yeah. I mean, by the time you, let's just say, we'll just throw a round number out there. Say he owed you $300. By the time you get up there with fuel, tolls, and everything else, and back, you already doubled the debt.
Yep.
So
it needs to be 2 legs and an arm.
Yeah. So you're still coming home with $300, but you already spent $300 on gold, gas, and tolls. So, and if you stay up there, that's another $100.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
So, and that's providing we don't eat, which. We all know we don't miss a meal.
We like our food.
Yeah, that's not happening. So, all right, let's. I'm gonna put you on the hot seat here and just explain to us the situation where I guess Matt contacted you to bring somebody into whatever. Just tell us how it all started.
I've been dealing with Matt for a long time. I would consider him a friend back in the day where. He'd call me up, ask for certain talent that I might know or have connections to. I've gotten him Jinder Mahal, I've gotten him Crazy Steve, Larry Zbyszko, Earl Hebner, Jim Neidhart, so that's 4 or 5 guys. So a couple months ago, at least 3 months ago, he contacted me. He said that he had a little Comic-Con, Fox Prowl, something, whatever. Kind of like a little convention for the weekend. He asked me if I could get him some talent.
And this was in the Buffalo area?
This was right outside of Buffalo in Batavia, New York.
Okay.
So he told me at the time he had Adam Bomb booked. Now, everybody knows Adam Bomb normally cancels on everybody. So that deal wound up falling through. I don't really know the whole story about that. But at the time, we also said we could get him Earl Hebner.
Okay.
And Jim Neville Neidhart. Now, Earl Hebner and Neidhart do not travel unless either myself or my partner Vinny are in attendance, just to make sure everything goes safe and smooth and so forth.
Right.
So 3 months ago we booked them. He also booked Marty Jannetty at that time and Larry Zbyszko. Larry Zbyszko was another add-on by myself that I got him a good deal, etc. And up to 3 weeks before the show, Larry Zbyszko was calling me every day, asking me, what's going on with Matt? He hasn't booked my plane ticket. I said, I don't know. Let me text him. I'll call him. Blah blah blah. Matt told me, I'm gonna book him. Everything was booked. I'm sorry. He goes, I'm gonna buy his plane ticket. Everything's good. Didn't hear nothing about it. I got up there. Larry was not there. So he screwed Larry over essentially. For myself, at the time we booked Hebner and Neidhart. A couple weeks after that, I said, I'll buy my plane ticket now because my flight kept on going up. I paid for it out of my pocket. He was going to reimburse me. That was the deal. The moment I landed in Buffalo, that didn't happen. I still, to this day, owe for my plane ticket. Okay. So we get up there. The deal was Neidhart was signing for 2 to 3 hours on the Friday, the same thing as Hebner. On Saturday, it was supposed to be split up. It was supposed to be 2 to 3 hours for Hebner and Neidhart and Marty Jannetty. So I think the show went from like 11 to 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So so he was going to do 3 different blocks for 3 different talents. Well, Jannetty did a no-show according to Matt. Meanwhile, if you went on Marty Jannetty's Facebook page, it was all Matt's fault. That's how Jannetty got screwed over. So basically Friday night comes, we get to the hotel early in the morning, and the show started at 4 o'clock that day. So 2 to 3 hours signing. We asked him what time you want us to be there. 4 o'clock, he said. So we go down, same hotel, same convention area. We go down, we're there from 4 to 8, 4 hours. It was slow, so nothing was said. The talent wasn't, bothered by sitting there. So I let it go. So you got 4 hours out of them. After that, nothing was said about, oh, let me take the talent out to eat. I had to take them. So here I'm doing something good for a friend, and I'm laying out money for their meals. Next day comes, and the same story. We get down at 11 o'clock. Both Earl and Jim were there from 11 till about 7 o'clock at night.
So there for 8 hours, they're sitting there.
Yeah. And that wasn't the deal. For 2 to 3 hours, I felt bad for Matt because he wasn't making money at first. The show was very slow in the beginning. At night, it started picking up. I asked Earl and Jim, do you guys want to stay? Like, yeah, whatever, So it was okay with them. Well, after that, we were supposed to go out to eat again. He never showed up. So we had to fork over more money. And you know what? I'm good friends with Earl. Jim actually didn't come out that night. He stayed back. He was tired from all day. And we wound up going to the bar afterwards in the hotel. Earl went upstairs. I was downstairs by myself with a couple of the other promoters or whatever for our vendors and stuff. And then Matt came down, his partners and his girlfriend / fiance / trash. I'm gonna say that, right? They basically didn't have money to eat, nothing. So I had to buy pizza for them, for his girlfriend, whatever she is. And yeah, so she basically had no money for food, nothing. Now, everybody's flight was supposed to be booked to leave on Sunday.
Okay.
My flight was leaving out of Buffalo, the same thing with Earl. Neidhart's flight wasn't even booked to go home. He booked them one-way tickets. So now, when the Monday before the show, he called me up, he said, can Hebner stay on Sunday night and leave Monday? I told him no. He asked me, can Neidhart stay? I said no. I spoke to both talent first. They both told me no. So the reason why he was asking is because already he knew that Marty Jannetty was going to get fucked over by Matt for a viewing party that he had for, I think it was Survivor Series last week, or?
I think that was, the last pay-per-view, yeah.
Right, so Survivor Series, he had a viewing party at a pizzeria, which Marty Jannetty was supposed to be. And the owner of the pizzeria forked out money, supposedly, and Matt didn't have nobody to bring. So now, before I left, I made sure that Matt booked a flight home for Anvil that night, that he would get home at a reasonable time. Now, I was in charge of Neidhart and Hebner, so I make sure their family both knows what time they're landing. Here's the itinerary for the entire weekend.
Right.
And especially with Neidhart, with his daughter being on TV, you don't want to mess up any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically tell the family, here's the time he's landing, here's the time he's coming home, this is the time you pick him up. Come to find out, I'm at the airport. Anvil calls me up, cursing at me. What? Am I allowed to curse on this?
Yeah.
Okay. He goes, what the fuck is this going on here? I was like, what's up? He's like, I'm on the side of the road. I don't know what's going on. Why am I not at the airport? I said, Jim, I have no idea what you're talking about. Let me find out what's going on. I call Matt, no answer. I call one of his friends. Winds up that one of his friends lent Matt his car to go to the pizzeria. They decided that they were going to go around me and take